Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and I'm currently at San Diego Comic-Con 2025, where of course, like every other year, LEGO has an exclusive booth full of all sorts of really interesting things to see. Now, honestly, I anticipated this booth to be F1 themed. LEGO has been doing a massive racing push all year, so I was very surprised to see that this is not in fact themed around that. In fact, it's something completely unexpected, and I was absolutely surprised when I showed up and saw what it actually was. So join me for a full-on tour of this year's San Diego Comic-Con 2025 LEGO booth, featuring all sorts of unique items and some brand new sets as well. So I just got back from a crazy trip to San Diego Comic-Con, and of course, I had to get out a video showcasing the awesome LEGO booth first. I'm gonna come out with a full vlog at some point in the near future because there is so much that happened at Comic-Con, but I figured it was most relevant to talk through the LEGO booth, what they had on display this year, and even some of the exclusives you had a chance to win by going at the booth. Now, for the first time, LEGO decided to go with a more open-air approach, where they decided to actually have no walls to the booth, have it be fully open air, and introduce a massive-scale diorama of Comic-Con featuring all sorts of different minifigures, which was built by a ton of master model builders. They also, in cooperation with Legoland, had a couple of surprise guest appearances, some really cool signings going on at the booth itself, and of course, a place for you to build your own Comic-Con booth and have the chance to have it be displayed in the actual large-scale layout. There's a lot to see here, and honestly, there's so much to cover that I feel like it makes sense to first showcase what our initial reaction was, walking into Comic-Con and seeing the LEGO booth, because it certainly was not what we expected. Alright, so we are entering Comic-Con. We're gonna have a first-time impression of the LEGO booth. Now, you know what it is, but I don't.
Yes, I kind of had it spoiled for me against my will. Somebody, a super awesome dude, but somebody sent me pictures of it, and I opened them and was like, I kind of wanted to have it be a surprise, but oh well.
Oh well. Well, I'm excited to see it for the first time.
I mean, technically I'm seeing it for the first time. I just had it spoiled, too.
And it is preview night, so it is probably going to be the least busy it's gonna be all week.
That's true. It's time to dock in.
I think it's dock o'clock. All right, Jonathan, you ready for the LEGO booth?
Mentally, yes. Emotionally, physically, no. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm so hyped, dude. I cannot wait to see what this is. We are entering Comic-Con now, and this is our live reaction to LEGO. Still can't see what it is. I'm very curious. Dude, that's a monstrosity right there. That's a monstrosity right there. Dude, I want that banner. That is so cool, dude. I need that monstrosity banner.
It's a monstrosity.
That's a monstrosity. I still... Dude.
Rebuild the galaxy, too.
Yeah. Hey, you forgot the best show, LEGO Masters.
I pointed that out. I said
I didn't hear it. Okay, I didn't hear it. It's okay.
We have video evidence.
All right. What is the booth? Dude, LEGO Fantastic Four banner.
It's fantastic.
Say that again.
It's fantastic.
What is the booth? Huh. Is it... Wait.
Okay,
what?
Real talk, look how much better the Endgame set looks when it's displayed like this.
Wait, why does that look so much better? Wait.
Oh,
dude, what is this booth? Oh, so this is like a LEGO-themed Comic-Con.
Oh, wow. All the minifigs. That's like every minifig that's in a set right now. Like a retail set. That's crazy.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, what's over...
Whoa,
it's literally LEGO.
It's actually Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh my god. It's Dr. Doom.
No, that's so cool.
That's so cool.
I'd be that guy right there.
Hey, we were sitting like right here last year.
I was right there.
Nice. Is that you?
Oh, and dude, look, they have the LEGO version of the booth. Dude, that's Thunderfang right there. That's the Dragon of Chaos. This is interesting.
Chicken jockey.
Oh my god. Whoa.
I'm gonna swing by the door.
Yeah, there's a new set. Arkham.
No way. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Game Boy. Of course, once the initial shock of seeing what the booth was wore off, we can take a closer look at what the booth actually is about. And as you can see, strangely enough, the booth is actually Comic-Con themed. So for LEGO's Comic-Con booth, they decided to do a Comic-Con theme, which is kind of strange. It seems a little counterintuitive, but I actually think it makes sense for what they were trying to do. Last year it was a space theme booth because obviously space was the main focus of marketing and advertisement last year. The year before that it was a Brickbuster booth, kind of parodying a Blockbuster store, which was a really out there idea, but I think it really worked. And this year, we totally expected it to be F1 themed. LEGO has been doing this racing sub-theme across all their different lines this year, so I thought for sure this was going to be F1 themed, but shockingly enough, it wasn't. And instead, it was a little bit more accessible to the general public in the sense that it was just literally themed around Comic-Con. That being said, I am hoping, fingers crossed, next year is Ninjago's 15th anniversary, so I would love to see a Ninjago booth next year. Is that too niche for Comic-Con? Maybe. It could be a pipe dream, but that's personally what I would love to see LEGO do. As we spent the next few days at the booth, I kept hearing people pass by and say this is the coolest thing they saw on the floor, and it really made me realize that to the general public, seeing a gigantic LEGO build like this is pretty out of the ordinary, and I think it was actually a really smart idea for LEGO to literally do a minifigure scale Comic-Con, because it's not something most people going to Comic-Con who are not diehard fans of LEGO who have been to LEGO conventions would have actually seen before. The icing on the cake was actually having the booth itself replicated in the build, which was a bit of boothception there, which I thought was super clever and cool to do. And of course, they actually had these really cool custom sticker decals all around the booth, which were actually designed by a couple of folks who were master model builders who did all the graphics on the big signs for Comic-Con, or in this case, LEGOCon International, and then of course all the miniature stickers as well to have that congruency. It was really interesting to see just custom artwork be used, mostly featuring CMFs, but even a couple of classic LEGO minifigures here and there, just all throughout the booth, and of course they did also have a ton of brand new sets available for display. This was our official first look at sets like the new Arkham Asylum modular building, which obviously you can see spinning around right here, which I already did a full-on detailed separate video on, as well as the Game Boy, a couple of brick heads for Stranger Things, and the new Wicked sets were all on display. Plus, stuff we had seen before, but what the general public probably hadn't, were One Piece, which was available for display in the glass cases, which was very nice to see, and all sorts of great new sets as well, like the brand new LEGO Fortnite Mecha Team Leader, which I actually just reviewed yesterday. The other really neat thing about the way the booth was set up was that it was basically fully LEGO themed from 360 degrees, which means even the back of the booth had LEGO displays to see, which I found really interesting because typically they have never really done that before. Of course, the diorama was the main focus, but as we rotated our way around the back of the booth, we had a couple of other licensed sets on display. Going around the back, there were TV screens showcasing all sorts of different LEGO media, and then on the backside here, we had the massive model of the new buildable K2SO figure, which was seen at Star Wars Celebration on display, plus the giant Peely from Fortnite, and even statues of the two main characters from Wicked, Glinda and Elphaba, on the back there, with corresponding giant poster banners to showcase the minifigures alongside the theme they're marketing. It was actually really interesting to see the themes actually be organized by category here, where you had some of the newest sets on display and some advertisements for meet and greet opportunities at the actual LEGO booth, which we'll be getting to in a second. I think the most impressive thing to me about the build was this absolutely massive Comic-Con exterior. The interior was really cool to see all the booths be set up with all sorts of nice Easter eggs, but there was something really crazy about seeing that exterior as well. Although I think my favorite detail was the reveal of Robert Doomey Jr. as Dr. Doom at the Marvel Studios Hall H panel, which of course was a huge staple of last year's event and one that I actually got to participate in person. I don't know about that casting, but it is very cool to see that be referenced in the LEGO booth. The other really interesting difference between this booth and most of the other booths on the hall floor was that this was one of the only ones without a retail component, and I actually think that helped out the booth a ton. LEGO is here to market, they're not necessarily here to make money by selling products, and they actually learned their lesson. I was talking to the people who set up the booths, and they said in previous years it was really annoying to manage the line, it took up so much space to actually have a retail component of the booth, and everything would sell out within the first few hours anyways, so it didn't really even make sense to dedicate that much space to a queue and an area to sell LEGO sets off the shelves, when honestly, the entire booth is selling LEGO. It's one big advertisement for LEGO, and the whole point of the booth was to get people who wouldn't necessarily know about the latest LEGO sets or products get excited about what LEGO is releasing, and I think it absolutely helped. I will say there were a couple of moments of questionable advertising, such as the endgame final battle having like twice the number of minifigures the actual set comes with, but still being advertised as $100, and then of course the Marvel logo and minifigures showcasing like every single minifigure you can get nowadays, which I think to the average person would make them believe that the Marvel logo set actually has this much stuff around it, when it definitely does not. I don't know, that was a little bit strange to me, but I think for the most part the other sets were very clearly represented in terms of what they actually had available, so these were the only two outliers, and I have to say, they certainly did look cooler actually having all those details. One of my other favorite areas of the Marvel section was a WandaVision section, which obviously LEGO has never made any sets for save for the collectible minifigures, but I thought it was a really cute way to depict WandaVision in LEGO form and kind of makes me wish we did actually get a LEGO set based off of that. It was just a weird thing to advertise because, again, it's not really advertising any existing LEGO set. So overall, the LEGO booth was a ton of fun. I loved seeing the original artwork. Of course, that massive model of the San Diego Comic-Con hall itself was a sight to behold. And the amount of minifigures they managed to scatter throughout the display was absolutely shocking to see. I don't even think I've seen that many minifigures in one place at one time. And I've been to my house, so I would know. It was pretty crazy to see. I loved all the different references and Easter eggs that you could find by just standing and staring at the display, and it easily was the highlight of the display for so many people. LEGO is going to have to do something pretty crazy to top this next year, which is why I am a little bit worried that it won't be Ninjago themed, because I feel like that immediately does alienate a certain amount of target audience. Like if you just don't care about Ninjago, then the booth will not be for you, but I'm optimistic. You know, it's Ninjago's 15th anniversary, we'll see, but I do think that this was actually a very out there and very almost meta, fourth wall breaking idea for a LEGO booth, but one that really paid off. You could see the Marvel booth depicted in LEGO form, a DC booth in LEGO form, even the Brickbuster booth in LEGO form, a giant mech, all sorts of different things just all scattered around, and everything was an Easter egg to previous things that you could see at Comic-Con, or even stuff that you could see that year. I love like how there's just little bits and pieces of scenes you could see, like a gaggle of pink-haired cosplayers, a gigantic LEGO Minecraft display, the Joker who's painting the walls of the DC booth green and purple with his color scheme, and even the Star Wars booth showcasing some of the brand new minifigures coming in the new August sets, which I thought was super cool. Of course, you have the Venator there as well, the Bad Batch shuttle, and even a Jedi Starfighter, specifically in the color scheme of Jedi Bobs. So again, there were just all sorts of crazy references and Easter eggs for what you could see in the booth itself. So altogether, I think this was absolutely a hit. For me, my favorite part was actually getting a chance to catch up with all our friends from Legoland and the booth employees who we had met last year, and some of which we hadn't even seen since the previous year, so it was really cool to just say hi to them, catch up, see what they were doing, and just hear what running the booth was like. So altogether, I'm a big fan of the LegoCon booth. But that wasn't all, because there was actually a lot more to see. This was not the only LEGO-focused section in the entire convention hall, and there were actually a couple of other booths that did have a little bit of LEGO references here and there, or sometimes a full-on LEGO display, which I found to be really interesting. At the Hasbro booth of all places, there was a little LEGO Transformers display advertising Soundwave, which I guess makes sense because that is the new Transformers product, but it was still kind of strange to see a LEGO product on display at the Hasbro booth, which is actually pretty cool to show the collaboration between the companies. But even more involved was an entire LEGO Minecraft area as part of the Minecraft booth. In fact, I would say it was a good like 2/3 of the Minecraft booth with a giant Steve and a giant Creeper fully brick built out of LEGO for people people to take pictures next to. They also were advertising a few of the LEGO Minecraft sets, and I believe you could actually buy some of them at the booth itself, so that was pretty cool to see an entire section dedicated to LEGO because to my knowledge, they've never actually done anything like it before. There was even an exclusive flyer handed out for the chicken jockey. As you can see, Mini Superheroes Today was absolutely loving it, which is also quite interesting to have a LEGO exclusive given away at the non-LEGO booth. And I know it's an exclusive a lot of people missed because they didn't even realize it existed. But overall, I had an absolute blast going around the LEGO booth at Comic-Con. But speaking of free giveaways, there actually was a really special set of items given away every single day for the LEGO booth. In addition to the regular LEGO magazines, which actually were printed with Comic-Con on them, making them exclusive, they also had a different poster every day. For Ninjago, Sonic, Star Wars, Marvel, you name it, they had different posters given out, and unfortunately, I didn't realize that these had such limited quantity because when I went on most days, they had already run out. I only managed to get a copy of the X-Men one, a single copy as well as the Star Wars one, and that was pretty much it. And I know they gave out a lot more. But that wasn't the main thing given away at the LEGO booth, because they actually, just like last year, had a really special sort of side quest mission to complete where you could go on a scavenger hunt around the LEGO booth, which reset every single day with different mission objectives, and then be entered into a prize pool to win a set number of prizes. Each day the prizes were themed around something, so for the day that there was a Ninjago panel and signing, all of them were Ninjago themed. And then on one day it was One Piece themed, another day it was Batman themed, and you get the gist of it. The way this worked is that people were given 7 missions to complete, and you had to complete at least 5 of them to qualify for being drawn into the entry to win a special prize package every day, which included an exclusive LEGO Masters minifigure, which was the exclusive I gave away during my signing last year, a Ninjago Monstrosity comic and book pamphlet, which was given away at the Ninjago signing, a couple of exclusive pins to the prize pack, a LEGO Fortnite trading card, as well as even a signed copy of the One Piece Going Merry featuring the signatures of the entire cast, and so much more. Honestly, I feel like the prize pool this year was a little bit less interesting than last year just because there was no exclusive physical minifigure or animal. Just like in the last 2 years, we had an exclusive Ryu from Ninjago, and then we also had the exclusive LEGO Masters minifig last year. This year, they just reused it. So it was a little bit less exciting, but still cool, and they also had some tie-in things you could download from LEGO.com, but anybody could just show up and download those. The LEGO booth was also home to a ton of really cool meet and greet sessions. The most exciting one to me was, of course, getting a chance to meet Vincent Tong, the voice of Kai, and Kazumi Evans, the voice of Wildfire. I'd hung out with Doc Wyatt a ton. If you've seen like any of my other videos, you know Doc and I hang out a lot, but it actually was really cool catching up with Kevin Burke again, the other writer for Dragon's Rising, because I hadn't seen him since last year's Comic-Con, and I literally got to meet Kai and Wildfire for the first time in person, which was super awesome. It's a bit of a side note, but we were all planning to go to this party after the fact, and I really wish I was able to go, but then Jonathan and I got invited to a different party with fandom, had to walk the red carpet for that, and by the time we got to the Doc party, Kai and Wildfire had already gone home, so it was a bit unfortunate. I did not actually get a chance to talk to them much outside of this, but you know, maybe if they bring him back next year, there's always a chance. And it was genuinely so much fun hanging out with all of them, and of course, hanging with the Doc. Doc Wyatt, who I just love hanging out with, always has a funny story to tell or something interesting to say, and yes, I did have them sign my Ninjago Monstrosity Dragon Wings, so Doc and Kevin signed one wing, and then I had Kai, Vincent Tong, sign the other, and I already got the signature of the designer at Brickworld Chicago earlier this year, so it was pretty perfect. But that's not all. In addition to the Ninjago signing, there was a LEGO Master signing featuring the 3 current contestants for the finalists, and there was an opportunity to meet Ashley Eckstein, the voice of Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars The Clone Wars, which was insane to me. I literally grew up watching Star Wars The Clone Wars, so to actually meet the voice of Ahsoka in person was genuinely mind-blowing, and they were doing a photo op, which was super cool. It was advertised as a signing, so I actually went ahead and bought a second copy of Ahsoka Tano's Jedi Interceptor to have them sign, but unfortunately they decided not to do the signing after all, so I guess I just use it as a prop in the photo. What I will do with my second copy of this, I have no idea, but it was very cool to meet them and just amazing to get a chance to interact with them and actually put a name to the voice I'd been hearing for years and years. Altogether, the LEGO booth this year was one of the most interesting experiences I've had a chance to do. It was actually quite a unique idea to make it themed around San Diego Comic-Con itself. It's a bit of an out there idea, and I have to wonder what the theme will be next year. I would have guessed it would have been F1 this year because space was last year, but since it wasn't F1 this year, I feel like it could be anybody's guess as to what next year's is going to be. Are they going to play it safe and go with something that is tied around whatever marketing push LEGO is doing that year, presumably, fingers crossed, Ninjago, or are they going to come up with something completely oddball and off the wall like this? I really don't know, and I'm very curious to see that, so I absolutely will be doing everything in my power to attend next year. Obviously, it isn't 100% guaranteed because sometimes you just have to get into the lottery for the ticket, but I will see. You know, we got lucky this year, so I think we'll get lucky again, fingers crossed, and I do intend to continue to cover this from a LEGO perspective going forwards, and I hope you enjoyed this coverage of this year's 2025 San Diego Comic-Con LEGO booth. Let me know in the comments, have you ever gotten the chance to visit Comic-Con yourself? What did you think of it? What year did you go? And if not, are you gonna plan on going at any point in the future? And did this help convince you that maybe it's worth checking out? Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this special look at the LEGO booth. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon, and bye for now.